If you build AI voice agents or you're looking to learn how, then what I'm going to show you in this video is going to instantly upgrade any agents that you build. So let me briefly explain how. So most voice agents that book appointments, what they do when they're checking availability is they ask for a specific date and a specific time so that it can go and query that. What this means is that if a customer has a generic response like any day next week, or I can do any time in the next few days, or I don't mind, I'm flexible, then it doesn't know what to do with that because it's looking for a specific date to query. When it's presented with an answer that's not a specific date, it kind of doesn't know what to do, and so it starts to kind of really insist that it gets a specific date from the customer, and that can obviously be really frustrating to have to speak to. They also can't handle multiple specified days. So if the customer says, "Oh, I can do anytime next Monday or anytime next Friday," again, it doesn't know what to do with that. It wants one specific date that it can go and query, and so when it gets presented with an answer like this, again, it doesn't know what to do. And then it also doesn't know how to respond to a request to get someone booked in as soon as possible. So if someone says, "Oh, I can do the earliest time possible, I want to get booked in as soon as possible," again, it doesn't kind of know how to handle that. And so it will just ask for a specified date. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through a check availability tool or branch in NA10 with the associated prompt that can basically handle all of these scenarios in a smooth way so that you're not getting that kind of friction or those annoying responses from the voice agent when a customer answers in one of these more generic terms, which obviously, as you can imagine, happens quite a lot. Okay, so this is a quick preview of what we're doing. So I'm actually also throwing in a bit of a bonus in terms of an error handling nodule here. Okay, but we're going to go through all of this in just a sec. But you can see for just a check availability tool, it probably looks a bit more extensive than what you may have or what you've seen online before. And that's for a reason. And I'm going to explain all of these nodes as we go along. Okay, so that's just to give you bit of a preface. So we're going to get started in Vapi. Okay, so you're going to come over and create a new assistant. I'm just going to name this YouTube demo. Create the assistant. We're going to do a bit of a speed run through this, guys. Okay. Next, you're going to go to the link in the description, which is going to give you free access to all of these resources. You're going to copy this entire prompt, and I'll explain a little bit more about this when we paste it in. Okay. So you're going to paste this in. Now, what you can see in the prompt, okay, we've got a bit of kind of basic stuff here, okay, but the main thing that we're looking at here is when booking, we're using the check availability tool, and you can see we've got loads of different scenarios in the prompt and how it's going to handle that, okay? So we've got all of the scenarios we talked about through the slides. So if they give a date but no time, if they have no preference, if they have multiple named days like Monday or Wednesday, and if they give a generic range, okay, it has the instructions on how to handle all of those scenarios in the prompt itself, okay? Now, it's also got a bit of prompting on booking and rescheduling. So I'm not going to be showing you the backend in NA10 because that's out of the scope of this video, but it's in the prompt anyways, okay? Same with rescheduling, it's got the same kind of functionality. So we're just going to pop that in there. We're going to delete this message. Just adjust this to generated message. 4.0 cluster is fine by me. And to be honest, I'm not going to go ahead and mess with these settings too much. The point of this is just to give you guys the NA10 backend with the check availability tool and the prompt as well. So what we'll do is we'll just come over to messaging and we'll set up the NA10 now. So you're going to download the link in the description, you're going to get the NA10 template, and you're going to come over here to import from file, and you're going to upload it. And you're going to see this, okay? So don't be overwhelmed, I'm going to explain everything. But before we do that, let's just quickly get this linked. So you're going to come over to the webhook, come to production URL, we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste this in server URL, okay? We'll leave the authentication for now, it's just a demo. We're going to publish this. Now we need to quickly create the tool as well. So the check availability tool, because it's got so much more functionality, it's a little bit different to the standard kind of tool. So again, you're going to come over to the resources and you're going to copy this check availability tool. Make sure that's copied. You're going to come back. Going to come to tools, create a new tool, custom tool. And we're going to name this check availability. You're going to switch this to JSON and you're going to paste it in here. And we'll just apply and save. Perfect. So you can see briefly that we've got a few extra parameters here, which allows it to have that extra functionality. So for example, it's got the date end, date start, it's got days ahead, it's got the service type if we want it, and it's got an array of dates as well as specific dates. So that's kind of basically what will happen is the agent is going to decide which parameters it wants to send based on what the customer is asking for, if that makes sense. So we just need to add this to the assistant. So you're going to come over here, go to tools, and we're going to select this new tool. Okay, you're also going to come down to messaging, and we're just going to deselect all of these and just select tool calls. Okay, so just so we're not clogging up the NA10 backend. The rest of the settings I'm just going to leave for now. Okay, we're going to publish this. Okay, perfect. Now, let's quickly run through what this is doing. Okay, so we've got the webhook, we're just setting some variables. Now we've got a tool router here, okay, so you can see that this has booking appointments, rescheduling, custom knowledge base, maybe a qualification system, okay. I've not built these out, I don't want to overwhelm you or confuse you, so we're just focusing on the check availability tool. But the point being is that you would obviously have this in conjunction with a booking appointment branch and so on. I've got multiple videos on all of those functionalities, so if that's something you're looking for, go ahead and check those out. Okay, but for the check availability tool, we've got a bit of an error fallback as a bonus as well. So what it's doing is it's going to query a CRM, okay, in this case a Google Sheet. So this is a demo, for example. So if we've previously booked in a customer and they have an upcoming appointment, to prevent double booking, if they, for whatever reason, maybe they think they haven't booked correctly, they call up and ask to book again, even though they haven't had their appointment, it's going to check if they have an upcoming appointment. And if they do, it's just going to politely explain that we've already got an appointment for them and would you like to reschedule instead of double booking an appointment. Okay. If there's nothing in the CRM, then it's going to carry on as usual. Okay. So this is what this is doing basically. Now, then we have the calculating the slots. So you'll notice that there's a few code nodes here. So don't be scared of the code nodes, okay? They're absolutely fine as they are to be left. But we're basically just querying the Google Calendar and calculating the potential slots. And we can adjust how long we want those slots to be in the variable setting, okay? So you can adjust the time zone, the working day start and end, and the meeting duration. So we'll do 30 minutes for this example. Now you will just need to link up your Google documents. Okay, so really simple to create a credential. You can just sign in with your Google account and then just make sure that the correct Google Sheet is linked here. Okay, so you can see that we're matching this one by phone. And then same with the Google Calendar, just make sure this is linked to your Google account. Everything else you can literally leave exactly how it is, copy and paste, so really simple. Okay, make sure this is live obviously, and then we can go ahead and give this a test. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm actually overseas, so I'm not going to be calling the agent, but I'm going to be talking to it here, which will mean that even if I had my number in this Google Sheet, it's not going to detect it. But for you guys, if you have a phone number that you're calling from, you can test out this functionality by just inputting your phone number here, as if it was a pre-booked appointment, and you can see that it will go down the path where it's asking it to reschedule instead. And we're going to test it a little bit with some of those more generic responses, and we're going to see how it responds. So let's go ahead.
Thank you for calling Apex Renovations. This is James. How can I help you today?
Hi, I wanted to book an appointment, please.
Of course. Are you looking to schedule a free consultation with us?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you have any preferred date or time for the call?
I can either do next Monday or next Wednesday.
Sure, let me check our calendar for those days. One moment, please. On Monday, the 8th of December, we can do 9 a.m. or 2 p.m. On Wednesday, the 10th of December, we can do 10:30 a.m. or 3:30 p.m. Which time works best for you?
Wednesday at 3:30 is good.
Perfect. What's the best first name to put on the...
Okay, I'll stop it there because we obviously don't have any booking appointment functionality built in at this point. But you can see it was able to handle multiple specified days. So if we go to the execution here, obviously the error fallback comes back all okay because there's nothing in the Google Sheet. But if we go to the respond to webhook, so this is what the agent is basically receiving back from NA10. And you can see that it's sent back all of these slots basically on Monday and Wednesday, I think is what I said. So Monday the 8th. Yeah. So, sorry. So you can see it's got all of these time slots, okay? And then Wednesday the 10th, it's also sent back. So that worked perfectly. So let's try again, but this time we'll give it another more generic response and see what it does. So let's give this another go.
Thank you for calling Apex Renovations. This is James. How can I help you today?
Hi, I wanted to book an appointment, please.
Sure, let's get that sorted for you. Do you have any preferred date or time for the call?
I can do any time next week.
Let me check our calendar for availability next week. One moment, please. We have availability on Monday, the 8th of December. Some available times are 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 10 a.m. Do any of these work for you?
Yeah, we'll go for 10 a.m. Okay, I'll stop it there. So let's have a look here. So respond to webhook. So you can see it queried the entire week. Now, obviously, when we're answering the customer, we don't want to give them a list of like 50 different time slots. So within the prompt, what we've done is we say, okay, query the entire week, but offer the earliest available time slots, which is what it's done there. So it's offered some Monday morning time slots. But obviously, if they were taken or busy in the calendar, then it would offer the earliest time slots that week. Okay, so that worked pretty nicely. Now let's test the last option, which is someone saying they have no preference, which is a really vague response. So let's see how our agent handles that now.
Thank you for calling Apex Renovations. This is James. How can I help you today?
I want to book an appointment, please.
Okay, great. Do you have any preferred date or time for the call?
No, not really.
Sure, let me check our availability. One moment, please. I can book a time for you today, Tuesday, the 2nd of December. Would that work? If yes, I can offer 11:30 a.m., 12 p.m., or 12:30 p.m. Let me know which time is best for you.
Cool. Okay. So that offered today. So the earliest time slot, which is today. And it offered time slots after, obviously, the current time. So that worked pretty nicely. So we didn't really give any preference and it booked the earliest possible appointment. Now, obviously, we can set a buffer in the variables if we want a bit of a delay, but that worked out pretty well, I would say. So if we look in the back end, we can see what was returned. So again, it just took a bunch of available times because it was such a vague answer, and then it spit back different possibilities, and then through the prompt we've told it to then offer the earliest available appointment. So you can see that even though this is not very flashy, this is like a check availability upgrade. You can see how much more robust that a system like this is, because it can handle all of these different more vague responses, and it's not just going to insist that we give it a specific date and time. So no matter kind of what the customer says in terms of availability for appointments is able to handle any of those cases and scenarios. So like I said, everything is in the description. You can copy this N10 template, copy the prompt, have a look through it as well, and grab the Vapi tool as well that you need to connect it up. Okay, I hope that video was helpful. I know this is quite niche, but if you're building any agent that books appointments, this is going to make it much better, as you can hopefully see from what we've demoed today. I will see you in the next one.